3,000 apartments in New York.
Wow, so New York City is being turned into a giant toilet. Well, it always has been one. Now it's just a bigger one. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of WeAreChange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely wild and bewildering news to get into today. As of course, culturally, I think we're doing better than ever with some very important fights in the mainstream that is highlighting a change in the overall perceptions and reality of the general public that surely has changed a lot recently. What is that culture? What's the larger impacts here? How will it be attacked? Well, we're going to be talking about that plus a lot more here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on TheBestPoliticalShirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was originally highlighted by Colin Rugg, who got some first on-the-ground reporting of what's happening in New York City, where there's a lot of reports of migrants reportedly leaving pee cups that are not just now from Amazon all over the city, as of course sanitation is becoming a major issue since of course so many people were introduced to this wonderful, amazing sanctuary city that promised migrants everything and absolutely underdelivered while depleting resources from some of the poorest people in the city and extorting, stealing, and taxing everyone else to pay for their absolutely failed, horrible services. This as there's also reports of poop cups. And no, I am not discussing pup cups. Poop cups. As the New York Post had this tagline, quote, New York City neighborhood turned giant toilet as migrants litter park with poop leave cups of urine on doorsteps. This says it's fair to say that there has been an attack, full frontal assault on beauty, especially in this country, as even famous places like Hollywood's Walk of Fame are now being deemed Hollywood's Walk of Shame, as that sanctuary city is now being overrun by homelessness and individuals struggling to survive Bidenomics. This as police patrols have halved in the region, and the city there that taxes people more than almost any other jurisdiction on the world highlights, once again, more government, more problems, as this migrant crisis is, of course, getting completely out of hand, as the Biden administration is literally just trying to rush as many people as they can before this next upcoming presidential election that a lot of people expect to be very tumultuous. This as, of course, billionaires continue to build apocalypse bunkers, and, of course, the 2024 presidential race is heating up as more and more people keep talking about the possibility of Vivek Ramaswamy now being the biggest hopeful for the vice presidency of the United States under Donald Trump ticket. This as Glenn Beck revealed that this is a major probability. South Dakota's Governor Kristi Noem also is a favorite, as a lot of people have also personally expressed their interest in having Tucker Carlson. All of this as Vivek Ramaswamy has been telling the governor of Florida to drop out before the New Hampshire primary this upcoming Monday in order to secure, of course, a Donald Trump victory in that state and, of course, ending the Republican primary, as, of course, Ron DeSantis has recently had a trip to South Carolina, as he also just canceled his Sunday show appearances right before New Hampshire, highlighting a larger possibility that he actually might drop out. This as a lot of anti-establishment Republicans are trying to have a clear victory against the neocon establishment candidate that, of course, is Nikki Haley, that according to the governor of New Hampshire, still could be president if she somehow loses New Hampshire, as the former UN ambassador that was selected by Donald Trump is polling favorably in New Hampshire. This as BlackRock, State Street, and other major banking institutions are really hoping their investment in her works, as we're going to see what happens this particular Monday, as of course, we're going to be covering the story very closely. And even though Nikki Haley has a lot of big banker supporters, we have you as a supporter. And one of the ways that you could very easily support us is by simply just getting a t-shirt like the ones that we have on TheBestPoliticalShirts.com. Yesterday, me and my buddies in town here in Miami went out, and I was wearing one of my shirts that I can't show you here on this particular platform. And man, oh man, was the talk of everyone when I was out. It was absolutely hilarious. Mike Benz, who we just had on the podcast, literally just made a post about this on Twitter. Check out my Twitter. I definitely retweeted that one to see the full message, the full shirt. You could also see it's the first shirt listed on TheBestPoliticalShirts.com. It's a very spicy message. It's a very tumultuous message. Might have some people being angry at you. Might have some people being happy with you. We definitely can't show you our Mike Obama one. One of the latest releases that we have is, of course, this prized gem that you absolutely can't argue with. And again, when it comes to conversation starters, last night, man, there was a whole bunch of like influencers here. We were all hanging out. We were all partying. We had a blast. We had a lot of fun. The shirt on top of all the conversations and all the people that like came up to us and it was something else. It was hilarious. It was absolutely incredible. If you're a single Pringle, that shirt, which we also have available in women's tees, trust me, best way to make new friends. I had so much fun last night. I want that for you. You could have it just by simply getting a t-shirt on TheBestPoliticalShirts.com and also supporting and growing this independent media operation. The shirt that I'm wearing right now is also one of the shirts, but again, trust me, you want to have a good time. You get the shirt that we can't show you here. Go out into the nightclubs till like 5 o'clock in the morning. And man, oh man, are you going to have a lot of fun. Plus, you do your own lazy form of activism, and you join a group of really awesome, incredible individuals who are also spreading important messages, building the culture, jamming the culture, and enriching it by highlighting brave individuals willing to speak truth to power, willing to make you think, willing to start important conversations that you will never hear on the corporate media or even on the majority of social media, as of course a lot of these conversations are being censored or being stifled. You could stop that right now by getting a shirt, wearing it to the supermarket, the local farmer's market, the bank, D&B. That's a great place to get a lot of people thinking. Definitely don't have a lot of that in there. It's like a IQ black hole in there. Anyway, get the shirt. I'm getting more autistic shirt ideas now. Get the shirts right now on TheBestPoliticalShirts.com. Click the link down in the description below, and we appreciate that you do. And more importantly, that you fight the important battles that all of us need to be fighting right now. As of course, there is a shift in the culture, and it is very interesting, as highlighted by the latest UFC event that was happening in Toronto, Canada, where the fans there, for some reason, before the main event started, decided to chant F Trudeau, absolutely standing up against what many people deem to be the dictator of the North, who literally has taken people's bank accounts away for criticizing his regime in Canada. If you ask one of their politicians any kind of serious questions, you're going to be manhandled and arrested by local police officers. You're not okay with the state changing the gender of your child. That also could lead you into prison. As of course, protesting free speech no longer exists in Canada through the larger overhauls of the state through the Justin Trudeau administration that absolutely has been abusing its position of power. And with our channel here being a family-friendly show on YouTube, we can't you can't play the clips, even though it's pretty powerful. But this was Joe Rogan's response to this right after this.
Trudeau. I was at the UFC.
Yelling Trudeau.
Love it.
Yeah.
That guy's
Canada, get your together. Come back. Come back to what you used to be.
This, as many people want Canada to be great again, and sadly it has been destroyed from within, from inside, especially as many essential freedoms and liberties have been taken away by government bureaucrats who are pretending to actually take care of you as a guise to enrich and empower themselves over you. This, as freedom is more important than ever, as it's directly under attack by a lot of government bureaucrats all around the world, by a lot of the top globalists, a lot of the top government officials who will look at any and every tragedy for an excuse to trample on your ability to live a life that doesn't involve them, nitpicking every aspect of it, as it definitely seems that the UFC president Dana White definitely agrees with this larger sentiment, as he also delivered a very pro-freedom response from a reporter that was literally asking him to censor and destroy someone's life because of their political expression. That individual being the former UFC champion that actually lost that night, Sean Strickland, that many individuals have been calling to be canceled, to have his money taken away, to have his life destroyed because he dared to express opinions that some people didn't like. Here's the exchange with Dana White and this Canadian journalist, or in reality, stenographer of the state, authoritarian bootlicker, who demands we silence people that we disagree with. We have a name for those individuals that date back all the way till the 1930s in Germany. And this takedown, this response by Dana White against this woke Canadian reporter was absolutely brilliant. Here's a small clip of it.
Did you ever consider going to those guys and saying, hey, this might be the one time you need to tone it down?
This might be the one time you need to what?
Tone it down, the trash talk?
I don't tell anybody to do anything. I don't try to control any other human beings in any way, shape, or form. They do it this. I say it all the time. We're in the fight business, and if you get your feelings hurt that bad, you probably shouldn't ask the type of questions when you know the answer you're going to get from Strickland. Let's start there. You know what I mean? If you ask him, you know who he is, and if you ask him a certain question, he was baited in that question.
I'm not, sorry, my mistake. Not referring to that question, just, Strickland got a little...
I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I know what you asked me. It is what it is. It's the fight business, man.
As the pushback here wasn't even that severe here, kind of reminding people, hey, just because you hear something that you don't like or agree with doesn't mean you have to ruin someone's life. The conversation continued with actually another journalist asking a very similar question, which Dana White responded to by saying this.
Dana, I just want to go back. You were talking about, you obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, what they can say when they are up there with a UFC microphone, and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
I'm
free speech. Control what people say. Going to tell people what to believe. Going to tell people... I don't tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. What is your question?
I was asking that question. I'll move on, though.
Yeah, probably a good idea. That's ridiculous to say I give somebody a leash. Free speech, brother. People can say whatever they want, and they can believe whatever they want. And I don't think there's any... We had two gay women who fought in the co-main event. They sat on the stage with Sean Strickland. They could get what Sean Strickland thinks, or what he says, or what his beliefs are, or what his opinions are. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What do you got?
He don't got much, as of course people were shocked. What? You don't put people on leashes? You can't control what they could even think of themselves? That's very un-Canadian of you. As of course, a lot of people responded to this, including, of course, Gina Carano, that did a bunch of fire emojis. Sean Strickland, who sadly lost that particular night, said that this is the last American company, and you kind of have to agree with that, as the UFC, even though they took a Bud Light sponsorship for $100 million, does represent a larger company out there that doesn't play into the woke DEI leftist cultist ideology, and is able to be themselves, and is able to be a company that allows individuals to express themselves freely. This, as some people are now even conspiring that Sean Strickland was actually robbed of the UFC title, mainly because of some of the spicy comments that he was making previously beforehand. As if you look at the scorecard, if you look at Joe Rogan's response to all of this, including even Dana White now coming out and saying on the scorecard he had Sean Strickland winning here, a lot of people are asking themselves, did he lose because the judges, especially in Canada, who were uber woke and leftist, maybe didn't like what he had to say? Well, there's a larger possibility for that, as of course now, sadly, almost anything and everything is political, even the things who, of course, were always unpolitical, but now are forced to be so because of fervent leftists that demand a response, demand everything given to them, or else they're going to have another frickin' freak out. This is the video also allegedly showing one of the reporters that Sean Strickland had an argument with that was pretty happy about his close decision loss that happened at the end of last night's UFC. And even though Sean Strickland won, let's be honest here, the UFC and him won a bigger cultural battle here, highlighting clear, strong arguments for liberty, for freedom, for people being able to express themselves without the fear of any kind of government intervening and destroying that. So shouts out to the real ones out there, Sean Strickland, Dana White, who absolutely deserve to be protected at all costs. If you agree with that, share this video with your friends and family members. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively getting the t-shirts again. You will have so much fun. You will have so much fun wearing the t-shirts out in the general public. Trust me. Oh man, the stories I could tell right now. I might tell them on lookunfiltered.com. Maybe. Probably not. Anyway, I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.